right, let's get this started. Laura, you may have heard this song before. All right, welcome to another terrible podcast by comics. I'm your host, Eerie Diamond, sometimes comedian. My co-host, me and David just went out, so my sitting in co-host is Sarah Giambruno.
Yeah.
Hi. Favorite people. What? She's just cute as a button. Look.
Hey.
Our guests today are sorry, don't yell. Our guests today are Nate Spears, comedian. Nate Spears.
Hi. Is there still a huge echo? Am I good?
No, you're fine.
Much better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And one of my very favorite comedians in the whole world, Alyssa Westerlund.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. So our first topic, we always do listen up, which is basically we can have our lovely guests kind of talk about who they are. I'd also like my co-host to start because some people may not, she's not Mean Dave. She's sweetheart and funny Sarah Giambruno.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Sarah, would you like to just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a 28-year-old Libra Scorpio cusp. I almost cut my fingers off the other day making these notes that you see behind me.
Okay, now it's really echoey. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Go away.
Are there two headphones?
Can you hear me now?
Mute yourself when you're not talking, Nate. If you would.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, I'm so sorry. You tried to cut your fingers off? Was it that because the FBI was after you or what? Go ahead. Hello? Now I can't hear you. Okay, listen, this is how we're going to do this.
Here, I'll leave the room. I'll go to a different room.
No, I just can't hear anything that you guys are saying right now. I was trying to get Nate to fix it, but he's bad at his job, I guess, of taking care of me in my time of need.
Why don't we start? Let's start with Alyssa.
There might be two microphones happening.
You're telling me to go with it. Great. So yeah, I fucked my fingers up. I work at a dog daycare, and all of the dog parents look at me like something fucking happened with their dog. I'm dealing with that. Not having a good mental health day, but I'm excited to see you fucking guys. Wish I could hear you. Love it.
You really can't hear us?
Hold on. I'm gonna try to do this.
Here. You heard him at first, right?
No, I literally can't hear anything now, though.
Oh.
So I've been trying to fix it.
Oh, dear. No. Yeah. So, Alyssa, let's talk to you. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Okay. I was a comedian at one point prior to this.
You're still a comedian?
Yeah, no. I mean, I went outside more before this. I enjoyed food more at one point in my life. Basically, I'm just a mentally ill person trying to figure out what's going on in the world and how to take care of myself emotionally. Doing a really bad job. But yeah, a little bit about me. I was born in California, raised on a farm. We grew a lot of pot eventually, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we're actually we're gonna get back to that a little bit because that's one of the topics I want to talk about was your strange childhood. Sarah, are you able to hear us at all?
Okay, I think he fixed it.
Okay, cool. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh fuck.
Besides, your two fingers. That's where we were.
Yeah, I fucked them up because I was trying to make gnomes, as you see behind me. And I work at a dog daycare. So a lot of people, when they see me with their dogs, now they're just assuming I can't handle my fucking job or something. They think I'm getting attacked by dogs, and then I have to tell them that no, I'm just a dumbass who fucking broke an X-Acto knife. So my luck's good. It's great. It's been a great time.
Oh dear.
Do you want to know more about me or
No, that's good.
I was
kind of just letting it sink in a little bit before we moved on. Nate, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself in 200 words or less? This is going to be weird.
Yeah, how's this sound? Does it sound okay?
You sound perfect.
Okay, cool. I had to leave, which is I'm surprised I haven't done yet during this quarantine. Because I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I am probably gonna be single by the end of this podcast. I am not currently. That's another. I'm really high right now. I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a comedian. My name is Nate Spears. I like beers. I say awkward things. That's pretty much.
Cool. That was a good segment. No, what do you mean you're gonna be probably single? That's so sad.
I was just kidding because I made a stupid joke at the beginning. I think it went over everyone's heads because I didn't say it right. I don't know. It was a miss.
Well,
yeah, whatever. He'll
be single if he
really
doesn't.
like your girlfriend. I hope that you don't lose.
I do too. No, I do.
I'll be friends with her probably, but no offense, Nate. Okay.
Everybody loves me.
Okay, so how's everybody getting through the shelter in place / protests? How's it going, guys? I
was gonna say, how have you been doing with it, Eerie? I'm actually co-host this bitch. How are you
Thank
doing?
You so much. I'm surprisingly doing okay. Now I'm working. I'm going to work twice a week now, which is weird because I go in. There's only one other person like anywhere that I can even see in the whole building. There's like 8 of us in the whole fucking building, so it's like really weird. And I almost don't want to leave the house now. Is anybody having this like reverse stay in place thing where it's like you're kind of like almost a little like hesitant to even want to go out? You're like, I'm getting in my car, I'm driving on the freeway. I'm feeling so uneasy about it. Like that's kind of what's happening to me. It's really weird. And we did have people over my house last night. We had like 5 people over, and we had like a party for my best friend, and we got out a smoke machine and lights and like made a club in our house.
What? That sounds fun though.
It was really fun until all the smoke alarms in my house went off. I was like, uh-oh, they're gonna see smoke, they're gonna see fog billowing out of the house and then hear the alarms, and probably I'm gonna end up with fire trucks here, but we fixed it. But what was I talking about? Anyway, yeah, thank you for asking. I do appreciate that. Thank you, I appreciate that. No one ever asked me anything. They're all, she's fine, fuck it. So I do appreciate
Eerie, she's fine,
Fine.
She's just being dramatic.
Oh, I'm so rarely even dramatic. So that's why my mom and my sister are the most dramatic people on earth. I'm usually the one sitting there going, why are you crying, bitch? Like, that's who I am. Like, they get mad and they start crying. And then I get mad and I'm just like, I'm just gonna punch you now, like, but quietly and not with crying.
That's like my problem is sometimes I get so mad and I start crying, and then I'm like, I'm not fucking weak for crying, I'm just so mad. And then you look like you look like a pussy because you're crying, but you're so angry. I don't know. Alyssa, how are you fucking doing?
How are you doing, girl?
Are you so angry that you're crying?
I am actually. Okay. I am so angry that I'm crying. Yeah, I had a job when this started, and then I lost that because my boss is a creep. I'm angry.
Oh,
rightfully so.
I'm fucking angry. In general, I don't know. A lot of weird stuff has been coming up for me. Definitely been reaching out to more people. I walk a lot. Basically, I was just doing 5 miles a day, and now I'm like, walk 7 miles a day, walk 10 miles a day. Just keep fucking walking. Like, what else? I've been walking a lot, and I tried jogging, and then I got runner's knee immediately because I decided to do 7 miles like in the first day. So I got like runner's knee for a week, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it up with the power walking, and I don't need to be a jogger. I overdid it. I'm an extremist. I was cooking a lot. The first couple of months of this were not that bad. This last month has just been like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I need a psychiatrist. This weed is not working. This weed, I wanted the weed to work. And it's just like, we're collectively in this, but we're all isolated. So it's really hard to connect. It's really hard it's like everyone I talk to is going through something and nobody's not. So I'm like sitting in this thing, and even though I'm like, okay, am I insignificant? Like, everyone's suffering. It's not about you. We're all suffering. But also each of our individual problems are significant in the midst of all this. It still matters what happens to us in the midst of this. And it's just, this is a real doozy, man. This is a doozy. I'm like, whoa, okay. I took some medication for this so that I wouldn't be crying while we were here.
Do you have, can I just ask, do you have roommates, or do you live by yourself, or?
I was living with my partner, and then my partner left so we could get I needed, But
So
the first,
you do have a roommate, or are you just alone in your house?
I'm alone now. Yeah, currently I'm alone.
That's really scary.
What do you prefer?
Person
I need to get ideas.
Person here was good. Prior to this, I preferred living alone. I don't know. I don't know which one I prefer, to be honest. I really don't.
Did you just say you get ideas?
What?
Yeah, I'm like trying to gather from other
some
people's
ideas?
people's experiences. Because I'm thinking of kicking your ass out.
All right, yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say anything, but Nate and Sarah are boyfriend and girlfriend, in case you guys don't know, and they are living in a one bedroom apartment.
Tiny apartment.
A tiny.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many bedrooms
I
are
don't think it's that tiny, but all right.
Very
Yeah.
yeah. Nate,
It's
how
a
are you
one-bedroom.
doing? How's it going with you, Nate? How's the sheltering in place? How's the protests of sheltering in place hitting you, like the way it's hitting all of us?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. My other mic died. So many issues right now. Did you ask me how the stuff's affecting me?
How the shelter in place /
Yeah.
the world blowing up? How is that?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
It's weird because I feel like I'm supposed to say that I wish I could be out there protesting and stuff, which, I support what the protesters are doing and everything, but I don't want to be out there. I'm too old for that shit. So I'm kind of glad that I'm inside, but I do support everything that is happening. I say burn it all down. I don't know. But no, I'm not endorsing, wink, wink. But no, I've been doing all right.
They're gonna be they're gonna be like, they're gonna be looting the Target, going, Nate said.
And I feel like this is definitely been said
Nate.
before. I feel like it's definitely been said before, but I still think it's so hilarious that the Target was the target of the riots. It's like name change, I had to, whatever. Look, I've been inside forever. These are the quality of my jokes now. All right.
Nate has been doing like a lot of Zoom shows, but a lot of the shows he's been doing, they like mute everybody. So then you're telling jokes, but you're not getting anything back. And so I've seen him spiral during a set before where he's like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'm fucking funny. Fuck, I guess I'm just gonna say like the worst thing I can think of. I don't know. Like, and that's entertaining to watch too on my end. But it's also like, fuck, dude, that sucks. Like, you're getting no reciprocation. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's it. I've actually done the same thing, and you just what I've been doing is like when I do a Zoom comedy show, I just focus in on the faces, like do I see like this? Then like, yes, you know what I mean, or like some kind of slapping motion or something. Like I'm like, oh, they're having a great time, yay! But yeah, it is really weird. It feels so much like it sounds just like an open mic when you're doing it.
Yeah.
For the non-comedy people, basically, like when you're a comedian, you go to an open mic. It's not that you're not funny. It's just that nobody there cares because it's a bunch of comedians. So they don't give a fuck what you're saying. They're all staring at their phone. They're looking at their notes, and they're just waiting for their number to come up. And
Their turn.
it's hilarious. I always say if I can make one comedian look up from his phone, my job is that joke stays. That's the one that stays in. So how's that no comedy going? I think we kind of touched on this a little bit.
It's fucking hell, man. It's total fucking hell. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, I feel like a drug addict essentially. I feel like I lost my passion. I lost my like lightning rod. I lost the thing that was keeping me going as far as life goes, because I can't tell, but it feels like a big joke. So like, it's a bad joke, like comedy or tragedy, I'm not sure. Like a comedy starts off bad and turns into something, or what is it? Yeah, starts off bad, turns good. And then tragedy starts off good and turns bad. So yeah, I'm really missing it. I've done Zoom shows. It's not the same. I'm looking at your faces, Deneen and Jason and Mark, but also Mark, the lady, I'm sure your name is not Mark. And like, that's not Mark. Should say not Mark on there. And then, this picture of Miranda, there's an iPhone in the room. Adam is taking a walk. I'm looking at you guys, but it's not the same as being in a room with you and feeling that vibe, and then knowing, and the risk involved and the trust involved. And when you do comedy right, it feels so good and everyone feels good. There might be one fucking hater, but it's unlikely. Everyone feels good, and there's this perfect exchange. And I don't know. It's kind of like, for me, it's a really spiritual experience, because if I'm doing it right, I'm actually present with people. And it's like, even when my jokes sucked, I was like, just be present. I mean, now I feel like I've got better jokes, but it's showing up. And in Zoom, it's this two-dimensional world. The internet, I grew up without a television. So I don't really have this relationship to 2D world. And it's so hard to translate that. And even like looking at you guys, I'm like, no, I want to be in the room. I want us to all feel the same thing together. And if we get upset, we get upset together. If we like it, we get, I'm dying, man. I'm dying. I'm like, holy shit. I want to go outside and start just telling jokes. I need to buy an amp. Like, I want to tell jokes in the grocery line. I want to dance with people. I want to just be like, we can't be like you, Randy. Oh my God, anything. Anything.
I miss giving people a good old shoulder slap. Like when I'm walking around with a tip bucket, getting no money. Like, you make more money off the Zoom shows than you do in person, but it's that physical contact. I miss just being like, thanks for the dime, buddy, and thanks for the dime bag, buddy, over there. Like, that was really fun. I miss going places and people not caring about what I say. Honestly, because I have so much to say all the time, and I feel like I have great friends and family that care about me and they listen to what I say, but a lot of the times I just need to like espouse some bullshit, like a lot, and have no one listen to me and have no one care, just so I can like get that off my chest, find a little glimmer of a joke in there somewhere. But I do miss going to like dive bar open mics and just being like, if kids want to be treated like adults, then like they should get fucked like adults. Like, that is something that I would say in public. And that was great, because nobody liked it ever, but I still say it. Wow. Just when I needed to like piss somebody off that day, it's therapy. It really is.
So you miss Warhol's open mic?
God, dude, I never
what you just said?
I never fucking thought I would miss Delirium so much in my life. I miss being berated by other comedians whose jokes are trash, and dude, I miss seeing people get dragged out of the bar, like literally dragged out of the bar. I miss people just walking on the stage and making out when I'm trying to like bring in a comedian. I do. I don't know. Maybe I hate myself. I don't know, but I miss it.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that I miss real hecklers. Like, Zoom hecklers are so annoying, because it's usually a vacuum or a zipper or something.
It's like, sweet dick, bro, but like, you asked to see my tits?
I can't even see who it is. Like, I'll be scrolling through the pages like, which one of you motherfuckers? If I was in a room with you, I would look. I would have this, but it's so hard to. I miss hecklers.
Eerie got some good hecklers. You and
Oh.
Dave, remember?
Oh God. Oh God.
We're good.
Oh man. I gotta say, I is it possible to miss like having like creeps walk up and be like, I have a funny joke you can have, and I'm like, you're really funny for a girl. I'm like, wow, you almost look like a man. I just like so I miss, but I'm like, how is it that I missed that? How does that doesn't make any fucking sense, right?
Have you actually gotten that before?
Oh, are you?
I don't know. I don't know the experience. I'm just like.
Well, you've never been a woman, then? No.
Yeah, I've never been a woman.
He has
so.
never been a woman. I can attest to
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I'm
Never
kind
been
of
a
glad
woman.
you wouldn't be the prettiest woman. No offense.
Whoa.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, we did not have to
Shots
go there.
Yeah.
I've dressed up as a
little
woman
too much
before, and I was
facial
pretty
hair and
attractive.
everything. No.
Girl, give me 15 minutes and some contour.
That's
Not
true. That's true. Let's ask all the women comedians. Chelsea, I'd like to involve you as well. Has any guy ever said to you, "You're pretty funny for a woman"?
Yeah, every time I do a fucking show, every single time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bullshit.
Yep.
Alyssa?
Yeah, you're funny for a girl, or you're too pretty to do comedy. Every female on here,
Oh!
every single female on here has had that. You're too pretty to be a comic. You're funny for a girl. Yeah, you shouldn't say that because you're a girl. I've had that before. Alyssa, you've had that before. I think you got that at my show. Fucking asshole. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry, bye.
I bombed that show. I was doing good for a minute, but that was, I usually just blame myself. As a woman, I've gotten really good at that. I just blame no, I'm joking. But
You just tell them you're sorry, because we say we're sorry like every 5 minutes.
no, usually, honestly, I got really good at just being like, they'd try and buy me a drink, and I'd say, "I'm sorry, babe. Everything is free for me." And then, and I just, you can tip the bartender, or you can give me $10, but you can't buy me a drink because I don't pay for shit. And then the bartenders would be like, "Yeah, she doesn't pay for anything." And I'd be like, "You motherfucker." Like, but no, I'm mean. I am mean. So if they usually talk shit to me before, they'll talk shit to me afterwards too. I mean, mostly really grotesque sexual stuff because I talk about what I talk about. But no, I've heard some crazy shit.
I mean,
I've had guys steal the mic from me. Like, I've had them rush the stage.
I was gonna say I've seen that shit happen in person at the fucking Pepper Tree Lounge.
Oh, you were there for that.
It happened on your first fucking joke. He wouldn't even let you get your first fucking joke out, and then he was just like, "Oh, well, let me see your tits" or something. And you did apologize at first. You were like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you on stage?" No. And then, it escalated. And then I think he came at you with the pool stick.
He followed me. He followed
you to your fucking car.
He followed me to my car with me.
And I think the worst thing you said to him was that he had a tiny penis or something. And like that set him the fuck off. And I'm like, wow,
Then it's true. If you got that mad.
It's true then. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was appalling because then like, the fucking lady who owns the fucking bar was like, he buys all these drinks so no one can talk shit to him. But I'm like, he wants to like physically assault people at your bar. So maybe you should kick him the fuck out.
Right?
I was actually shocked because I did get to finish the rest of my set. I did eventually back him back to the pool table.
Mm-hmm.
I walked him back to the pool table and then I walked back to the crowd. So I actually was pretty shocked I got to even finish that set because I was like, whoa, I've never had a guy like that. Like, because he just came at me.
Yeah.
The joke is, I don't wear bras. It's not about feminism. I don't wear bras because I hate eye contact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and she does.
Yeah, and he wouldn't.
And then I like, I kind of jiggle my little titties, And he was like, take it off. And I was like, oh, like, I haven't heard this before.
And he wouldn't even let you get to the fucking punchline, which made me more mad than anything, I think. I'm like, if you're gonna fucking tell someone to, like, show you their tits, at least wait till they finish the joke.
Yeah.
You know?
That should be the standard.
Yeah. That's the least
I
we
want you to
fucking
know
ask for.
too, for any of you guys who don't know Alyssa, she is 5 foot nothing. Like she's not a big woman, but she will fucking knock your ass down, man. So, which is also the best thing. I just love that.
We're all pretty badass. All
Nate-
ladies here.
You guys are small but mighty.
Oh my God, you just can't even imagine. Nate, I'm so sorry. I don't know if you got to tell us how it's going not doing comedy. We kind of ran you right over, you know.
Oh no, I was like, the main thing I miss is being able to see Sarah do what she just did when she was talking about her like, and also free drinks. I mean, free drinks are nice. Like from the like drink tickets and from just begging on stage. Like if I just ask, usually if I get off stage, someone will be like, "Oh, hey, here's a drink," and then I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Which reminds me.
So yeah.
Which reminds
Also,
me.
can I just say?
If
Oh,
any
sorry.
of you would like to help, you know, comedians during the apocalypse, feel free to tip us. Just the tip. Okay.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. Okay. On to our next subject. Do we want to say hello to Mean Dave? Let's say hello. He's
Hi,
not
Mean
here.
Dave.
Hi, Mean
Hi.
Where is he?
Dave. Hi, Dave. I don't think he's watching, but
What's Dave doing today?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Hey.
he said he wasn't gonna be able to make it today, so that's why I have my lovely Wait, where is she? She's over there. My lovely co-host. So I just wanted to say hi to Mean Dave. We all miss you. Okay. Hold on. Let me get my background here. Next.
I like your house so much. I'm like, fuck the background.
Thank you.
Your
Yeah.
house, I love the like the grays. It's just kind of, it's actually really nice.
Thank you.
Are you in the doll room?
Oh, I'm not in the doll room right now.
Ah, that's my favorite room.
I know. Just so you guys know, I have a oh God, it's so funny. So there was a time when I was, no, it's okay. Maybe I'll show it at the end. There was a time when somebody bought me one of those porcelain dolls, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then everyone assumed that I loved porcelain dolls. So then what happened was they just started buying them for me. And it got to the point where now I have like 50. And the problem is that you can't throw a porcelain doll in the trash, because as everyone knows, they will all come to life and kill you. So
Oh.
I think everyone knows that, right? Everyone's aware of that?
Yeah.
No, I just learned something. Cool.
Yeah,
me too.
so because of that reason, I now cannot, I can't do anything about it. So I just have to have 50 porcelain dolls, and they're all in one room in my house. And people walk in there and they're terrified. But the nice thing is, I always assume that if somebody comes to break into my house, they're gonna go in there and then be terrified, and then they're
Can I ask that question?
Yeah.
Did you purposefully dedicate a room for these porcelain pieces, or did
No.
it just happen to be that they're in the same room?
It's the room. It's just happened to be the room that,
Okay.
like, it's a room that nobody really goes into that much, and so that's why I thought it was
Okay.
a room to put them in.
Yeah.
You don't want them in the living room.
And they have their own space. You respect their space, you know?
No, none of them are named Annabelle. It's best not to name them if you don't want a spirit to crawl into them. Okay. Enough about my creepy. I will show you guys the creepy dolls.
You need to write a book, like the rules of owning porcelain dolls, or like some shit, because those are good facts.
I'm not kidding. Can you imagine? Okay, so then there's the second part of it, which is you can't throw them into it. If you threw them into your trash can, can you imagine you'd hear the trash can screaming at some point? Like it would just be insane.
Why did you do this to me?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a little scared of them. Okay. Was anyone here in a cult as a child? That's our next.
Wow.
topic.
Nate, what up, Nate?
I was a Christian. I was a Christian
Sarah?
growing up, so you know.
Sarah, were you in a cult as a child?
I wasn't in a cult, but I went to one of those hippie schools where you didn't have grades and you called all your teachers by their first name. So that's like very close to a cult. It's almost the same thing, right?
It's really close.
Yeah, we spent 3 months out of every year learning about Native Americans and how we fucked them out of their land. So
You had to learn that?
the guilt runs strong in me.
Wow.
But not technically a cult, right?
Wow. That's wow.
Man.
No, Nate, were you in a cult as a child?
No, I grew up Christian. I mean, I don't know if you consider that the
Yep.
same. No.
That's close. That's close. However, Alyssa, were you in a cult as a child?
Yes. I was born into a cult called the Fellowship of Friends in Oregon House, California. It has about 4,000 members worldwide, maybe 5,000. It was initiated in the late 70s by a Berkeley teacher. He was a school teacher. I think he did K through 12. I can't remember. He started proselytizing outside of a van in Berkeley. And then he found a large piece of property in Oregon House, California, which is like it's right next to Bullard's Bar, and it's kind of between Nevada City and Marysville. But it was a huge piece of property, thousands of acres. And my parents met there. And it was all about consciousness and being this whole thing. But the waking up, they thought that everyone was asleep and that they were going to wake up. And it was like a lot of the cults out in the middle of nowhere in the 70s and 80s. Waco-esque, not so intense. They talked about the fact that they were a cult, and they traveled a lot. So when I talk to the ex-members now as an adult, they say, Alyssa, it was really hard to give up the travel because the fellowship had teaching houses all over Europe. My dad was Canadian. I mean, they would bring people from all these different places. So my mom got to travel all over Europe for free in her late 20s and early 30s because they had these teaching houses. And she met them in New York, and my dad met them in Canada. And then they eventually all went back to the main property. And my parents' marriage was compelled. So basically, the leader of my dad needed a green card, and the leader of the fellowship, Robert Burton, would do this often, where he would say, you have to marry this person because this person needs a green card. So he set my parents up, and then there was also the rule that you can't have sex before marriage. So everybody was like really, they got married within 6 months, right?
They were like, I'm fucking ready to get married right
I
now,
can't
dog."
wait. So my parents got married for a green card for my dad. My dad was essential because he's a contractor, and he basically built all of the infrastructure at the cult. So he put in the vineyard that is there, Apollo Wine, Renaissance Winery. There's actually a lot of articles about it. Not the child of God. No, he was not. So he was gay. The fellowship of the Robert Burton was actually gay, and we found out later he was a pedophile. So
that's how I fucking knew this shit. I was like, is this that one dude that had like the young husbands?
Well, he would
or
take
lovers?
young men to different places. So he had a lot of rich members. These teaching houses were beautiful mansions all over Europe. So he would take, like, my dad he's third generation Angus beef farmer from Edmonton. He's this country boy.
Edmonton.
He wants to like learn about the world. Well, he's actually from Onaway, but he's like, and so no, the leader would take them on these travels. He would put them in 5-piece suits. He would take them out to 5-star dinners, and he would seduce these young men. And, some of them were easier than others. But the boys, on the other hand, I don't really know too much about it, except it came out in 1990 that this boy who is now grown up, my parents were in this cult collectively for 30 years.
Wow.
So my dad was there for 13 years. And my mom was there for 17 years. And they left when I was 5 because it came out that one of the children they had grown up with, he was a baby at the beginning of this, of the cult. And my parents knew this kid. He was 17, and he came out and said he had been being molested by Robert Burton the entire time.
Ugh.
And he said, I cannot speak for the other children, but they need to know that this is what he's doing. And he was very careful not to force the other boys who experienced this to come out because, and he eventually, I mean, he sued Robert Burton, and a lot of the members left. And my parents, as soon as they found out that he was doing this, my dad was molested when he was a kid. He was like, this is fucking bullshit. We're leaving.
Hell yeah.
And my mom was already ready to leave, but she was married to a man who wasn't ready to leave. So as soon as my dad was ready to go, she was like, I've been ready to go for the last 3 years. Yeah.
Right. So can I ask really quick? So how old, you were 5 when you said you were 5 when you left, or?
Yeah, I was 5. Yeah, it was probably, well, it was right before my 6th birthday, I guess.
Wow. But you still remember? You still remember a lot about living in that, or no, not really?
Well, I do have some pretty deep memories of it. We went to a special school. I went to a, you know, whatever that is, preschool there, and we had a special school, Lewis Carroll. So all the teachers were fellowship members, all the students were fellowship members. There were a lot of things about it that were hard. You weren't allowed to say anything negative. You couldn't say the word no or never or, you know, not. You couldn't use any negative language. You were not allowed to swear. And if you did anything wrong, they would photograph you. And there were all kinds of things that you could do wrong. So, and like women they had to wear skirts that were past their knees. And this was because he wouldn't allow the women to wear pants because he didn't want the men looking at their butts because he was gay and he wanted the men to look at his butt, basically.
Wow.
So there was a total dress code that happened. Yeah, the sex thing was weird. There were a lot of weird things for women in it, but yeah, the no sex, but the fourth way, so if you actually looked it up, if you wanted to Google it, it's the fourth way, and it was started by Gurdjieff and Ouspensky. I don't know Gurdjieff's first name, but and Ouspensky basically took it and turned it into a cult. Gurdjieff didn't want it to be a cult, but the fourth way is a Christian-based thing. And no, it was fucking weird. The biggest thing is that my parents were in it for so long before, you know, and then my early childhood, the first 5 years, I mean, I knew this man had control over my parents, especially after they left, right? They went through a whole period when I was like 6 and 7 where they swore all the time. Every time they could say fuck, they would fucking get the fucking cereal. Fuck you. Fuck this fucking shit. Oh, get the fucking milk. Get the fucking bread. And you're just like, what are you? And they, for, you know, the first almost like 15 years each-ish, right? Not allowed to swear. And they just, so my dad always laughs and he goes, well, you come by it honestly because I have a terribly dirty mouth, you know. But it was, you know, really bombarded. So they were trying to rebel and kind of get themselves back because being in a cult is a lot like, I mean, there is a lot of brainwashing. And they had a really hard time, I think, actually. And they really loved the leader and they loved this man as a teacher. And so they have really mixed feelings about it. Like to this day, they still love the guy. And they're like, well, he was the best teacher, but obviously he was a bad dude. So they have kind of an interesting, they both say that they learned a lot, and their whole community was there. So all their friends were there. And what happened was once they left the cult, like there was a mass exodus. So all the people that left, those were the people I grew up with. So I never really left, right? Like they kind of all believe the same things and they all they still use those. So yeah, being raised by people who were born in a cult, I mean, and then my dad started doing ayahuasca ceremonies and teepees on our property, you know, and that started when I was 9, and I was the usher for the adults to go to the, I was the usher. Yeah, I would, okay, welcome to Club Void, and here we go. Let me take the potluck food. I'll put it over here. Yeah, you can leave your kids with me. I'm good. I'm only 9, but I got this. Now let me just walk you down this little trail. Okay, well, I'm going to leave you here, but you see the teepees right over there. Someone will greet you, you know, get comfortable. And then, yeah,
I would do ayahuasca if a 9-year-old girl brought me to a place to do ayahuasca. I think that makes the only way I would do it.
Followed
genius.
With, like, you know, 6 hours of people throwing up sound.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
It was, I still haven't done ayahuasca, but yeah, it was a trippy thing. So what they turned it into, I mean, they did all of the DMT, peyote, I mean, all versions of DMT, toad foam, they did, but they did tons of mushrooms down there. They tried ecstasy. But yeah, it was just it was kind of we did sweats. We had a sweat lodge. We did sweats. My dad's Native American, so he was really into that. As like, I did sweats as a kid. They went to Burning Man when I was 12. My dad started growing weed to pay alimony when my parents finally got a divorce.
As you do. Yeah.
And it worked. And then I ended up working for my dad growing pot until I was in some early 20s. I left a lot. I would travel. But I worked with him, and it was just weird. We're not, I've never been a normal person. It was weird. There were a lot of parts of my life I didn't get to share, and fucking A, man. Yeah, being born in a cult is weird. It's not like Christianity, because you got more people who understand. Like, I've got like 3 kids on the planet I can talk to who know what went down. Like 3 kids who aren't, like, some of my friends are still there. Some of the kids that are the same age as me, they never left. They're being compelled into marriages currently. I had 2 of them come to one of my comedy shows. And this was crazy, because I've known these kids since I was a child. And they came to my comedy show, and one of them drives for Uber. And he has a sign in his Uber that says, "Please don't use curse words in my car." Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? So, and he didn't understand any of the references. They don't watch TV. They are allowed to read books and stuff, but they don't. There's like so many things there. And he was just compelled into a marriage. And he was kicked out and told that if he didn't marry this woman, he would have to leave this community. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's still happening.
So it's still, I'm so sorry. It's still happening. I assumed that the whole thing had disbanded, but it's still there, huh?
It's still there. Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. My friend, like, and where I'm from, like Nevada City, Grass Valley, most of them know about the fellowship. So if you tell them you're a fellowship kid, they'll be like, oh, okay. And then you get a little bit of understanding. Because we're all a little different. And I feel so bad for my friends who didn't leave. My friends who were there, I've had friends call me just traumatized, like, Alyssa, what happened? Do you remember this guy? Do you remember this? When you've got one pedophile in charge, you've got others around. Yeah. Right? That's how that works. Yeah. So, yeah, I have a lot. Some of them, I think we've all struggled with addiction. I think we've all experienced a lot of different kinds of abuse. So, yeah, it's like when I saw them, I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so glad my parents left.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah,
that was like you took us on a crazy journey just now. That was
sorry.
Thank you. Every minute.
But if anybody's seen Alyssa's comedy, it will take you on a crazy journey because her life is so crazy. Please continue to tip us. Deneen, she sent us a nice tip, and everyone should be more like Deneen. So, why can't you all be like my golden child, Deneen? Okay. Would anybody like to declare anything? I don't know why. I don't know. Nate, you. I feel like you haven't got to talk very much. Do you wanna?
That was amazing. I don't know what to say after that. Like, how can I follow that? I had a pretty good chat. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I would like to declare like anything at all, like anything that I want to.
Anything you wanted to share with us? It won't be as good as Alyssa's, but it's probably good.
As growing up as a black man in America. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we want to hear it.
No, it wasn't that hard actually. It was pretty easy. I didn't really experience much. I maybe had like a few. There were some moments in high school where like I was walking home from like football practice in high school and like wearing like sweats and football attire, and me and a friend of mine got pulled over by some cops because we fit the description, I guess, of someone who had stolen some cars. So I guess the people just looked like innocent high school kids, and they took our pictures and everything. And but that was like the only real racist moment that I had in my life, probably. Other than that, I've had cops flash their lights at me a few times at night, which is that's pretty scary with everything happening and shit. Like it is kind of crazy, like especially with the quarantine in place. I actually feel a little bit relieved that I don't have to go outside as much, being black, because it actually is. I mean, it's stressful. Like I walk to the store in Castro Valley, and a cop car will come by, and I'll kind of get a little bit nervous, even though it's Castro Valley, you know, like But I don't know. Black Lives Matter. That's what I want to, I guess, declare.
I used to live in Castro Valley, Nate. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, really?
You're a doll. You're a little cutie pie.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna do the outro because time's almost out. I'm gonna do the outro and then I'm gonna take you to the doll room. So if you want to stay,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, this was so fun.
Yeah.
all right. Hey, guys, I want to say thank you so much. My wonderful co-host, Sarah Giambruno.
I will step in anytime. Anytime.
Welcoming you back anytime you want to come back and co-host with me. I would love that. I love having her here. I'd like to thank Nate Spears. Hilarious.
Yay, thank you.
That's my
Thank
boy.
you.
So much, Nate. I really appreciate you being on the show. Alyssa Westerlund, thank you for sharing your life with us. That was amazing.
Awesome.
If you ever want to go see any of these guys, I highly recommend that you see these comedians. They're funny as shit, and I freaking love them. And they're great people too.
You all got to come up to come down to San Luis Obispo.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you,
Love
Randy.
it.
By the way, Randy just tipped
Okay.
us, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Randy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. All right, I'm gonna walk you guys to the doll room, and
Yes.
it's gonna be you're gonna be
Dun,
like,
dun,
that's
dun,
not
dun,
that
dun.
many dolls, but yeah, it's a lot of dolls. Hey, hold on. I know that's what you're really here for. Got to walk through the house here. All right,
Tour of the house.
are you ready? Okay.
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh, wow,
There they
yeah.
are
Wait.
in all their glory.
But wait.
There's
Oh
more.
my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was worried it wouldn't be creepy enough, but yeah, no, that's pretty
Yeah,
creepy.
Hold on. Let me turn the lights on just so you guys can see. Yeah. So that's my dolls, and
Yeah.
they love you.
Just like leave a voice recorder in there overnight. We'll just see what we can
Oh.
We love you. Well, we actually were gonna do like a little mini, little short film of like somebody breaking into the house, and then we go, "Hey, hit the alarm!" And the alarm is actually like us playing Skinny Puppy. I don't know if you guys who know who Skinny Puppy is. Us playing Skinny Puppy, and then having the light from behind the dolls just shine out, and have, like,
Yes.
welcome to our home, like something like that. Like that's your burglar alarm. So, yeah. So it's not fake. They're real.
It's for life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that's them. Okay, well, thanks, you guys. Thank you so much, you guys, for showing up to the podcast. We will see you guys next time. I appreciate all your love, and thank you for the tips. And please, we all need money because we're all broke. Okay, bye-bye. Love you.
Love
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.